Hi guys, today I want to talk to you about five books that really shaped me as an entrepreneur and that really kind of blew my mind when I read them really early on. I know a lot of y'all may not be readers and you can't even think of finishing one book, forget five. Let me tell you, soon after I was pregnant, I possibly was in the same boat. But what I realized is that reading is not the only way of learning. The pandemic also kind of reinforced that because I started being a lot around and didn't have the time or the luxuries to sit down and read a book. That's the time, of course, I was listening to a lot of audiobooks and podcasts, and that became a form of learning for me as well. And today I want to share with you about five books that kind of just blew my mind. It made me take decisions that were really, really hard. It made me take needle moving decisions that I was actually procrastinating on. I was scared. I was scared as a founder to take those decisions. And they really helped me. The first one up is The Hard Things About Hard Things. First up, I listened to this book. The second time I read it, trust me, there was this one decision that I was really procrastinating on, which was about team building and about hiring the wrong person and team culture. And I procrastinated on that decision for a very, very long time, thinking, how will I, fire this person? This person is toxic. How will I keep this person? And trust me, this book made me make so many decisions that in hindsight, I am so, so proud of. I really wish I would have discovered this book much earlier, and it would have really pushed me to make a lot more of those decisions much faster. As entrepreneurs, sometimes, and especially as first time entrepreneurs, we really hold on to people, to things, to processes sometimes because we're scared to make a change. But don't be scared to make the change because sometimes that change is good change. So most definitely try and read this book, and trust me, it's the Bible. It's something that you have to get down to reading because it will really, really change your life. The second one, of course, is my absolute favorite, which is Atomic Habits. I am a big, big, big James Clear fan, and I'm also a creature of habits. One book that I know everybody recommends, right? But the fact is, it is totally worth it. From dissecting the smallest of our habits and intentions to finding the right initiative to kickstart a new habit and ditch a bad one. This book is the Bible of habits, and somewhere I got my girls to start reading it or reading small parts of it. And trust me, if inculcated at a very, very young age, it can really change the way you think, the way you want to stick to some things, the way you want to eliminate some things. Talking of elimination, I'm going to speak to you about my third favorite, which is Essentialism. This book has taught me not how to add things to my life, but to eliminate things from my life. More often than not, we say yes to so many things without actually thinking, is this going to tie into my objective of what I really, really want to do? Right? We often feel overwhelmed by the number of things that we need to do. But how often do we realize that by eliminating non essentials, we will start focusing and funneling it down to simpler, easier, and more actionable items. So for me, essentialism is that. I'm also gravitating a lot towards books that are illustrated or drawn. I don't know, maybe it's the kid in me that's coming back who wants to read picture books again. But this book has really, with just a few of the diagrams, which you can watch here and here, you're going to see how easy it is when your energy is focused only towards one thing. How much more can you get done versus if you have 25 things spinning around your head, right? So most definitely recommended. I even listened to his podcast, and it is the Essentialism podcast. And please go ahead and listen to it. It's really a lot of fun. It's really a peek into conversations about eliminating non-essentials every single day. It's just like a closet cleanse that happens, right? Like detox of habits that really happens. Talking of habits, the one that I really recommend is The Power of Habits by Charles Duhigg. Now, he recommends a very interesting way of how to stick to habits. And if you're following me on Instagram, I love habits. I'm really a creature of habits. And he talks about a very interesting way of how you can actually stick to habits, which is Q, routine, and reward. Now, if you stick to this triangle, you will be able to stick by habits. So, I would totally recommend you to read this book so you know what are the cues and routines for the reward you want as an entrepreneur, which is that your consumer buys into your product or service or trusts you more. So, most definitely get your hands on Power of Habits. The next one, again, which I cannot recommend enough and is absolutely one of my favorites, is Shoedog by Phil Knight. He's actually the Nike founder. The reason I ask you to read this is because you will realize absolutely no one has had it easy. He's reached the point of no return so many times. If you've not had sleepless nights as an entrepreneur thinking about where are the next few months, how are you going to survive it, and you've reached that roadblock, then you've not even got your hands dirty enough, right? We all get there. We absolutely all get there. And he talks about his journey, how he compromised his family time, about his coach, about his beliefs, how he kept bouncing back each time. This book for me is about resilience. It is one of my most favorite books. I've listened to it once, I've read it once, and trust me, each time that you will listen to it, there is, or read it, there'll be just so many key takeaways that you will have. So, most definitely try and grab your hands on this one. And if you have any other book recommendations, then please do share. I'm going to try and each week come by and share a few books that I really love. But these one have to be my five favorites.